When you tip your server at most restaurants in America, in fact, you're not giving them a bonus for good service. Turns out, and this is becoming increasingly clear, you're paying part of their wages. In Chicago, for example, staff only have to get $9.48 an hour before tips. The standard minimum wage, $15.80 an hour. Tips make up the difference. Chicago's mayor wants to make sure workers earn at least minimum wage before tips, which sounds fair until you tell that to restaurant owners. They say raising wages on staff that already pull in tips will force them to raise prices, which makes sense, and also says that many restaurants would go under. Here now, the co-owner of 50/50 Restaurant Group in Chicago, Scott Weiner. Scott, good to have you. Thank you. All right. It sounds okay, right, on its face. Hey, look, you should be able to make minimum wage, and then you get tips on top of that. What's that mean in reality?
The reality is that most of the tipped employees are making far above the minimum wage. I mean, I don't know too many that are making less than $20 an hour. So I think that what we're really dealing with here is more of a political movement as opposed to something that really cares about the wages of our servers and our bussers and our bartenders.
So how does it work? And obviously every restaurant's different, right? But if I go in and I put 20% as a tip, does that go to the server and then that's counted against their minimum wage? Do they get to keep everything over that? I'm wondering about servers who say, wait a second, if I just make minimum wage and people know that, then I'm not going to get as much in tips.
Well, and actually that's sort of one of the things about the tip credit is that every dollar that's left for the tipped employee goes to the tipped employee. Once you remove that by paying the normal minimum wage, which is already, $15.80 in Chicago, all those tip protections go out the window. And then management, the owners, they can do whatever they want to then with the tips. They can distribute it to the kitchen. They can use it to offset pretty much anything they want. So I'm actually coming from this from the mentality of, we've just recovered from a pandemic. And frankly, many restaurants haven't recovered from the pandemic. We're trying to figure out our business model right now, going through inflation, going through just all the changes, who's coming to work, who's not. And, you're going to upend the entire system right now. It's just not a good time. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And what people don't realize is by changing this law, you actually might hurt the servers. You might actually hurt the bussers, the tipped employees, because they're going to lose all of these protections that they have.
It reminds me of that old saying, I'm from the government and I'm here to help, which is what the Chicago mayor seems to be doing. Can't deal with the crime problem right now in Chicago, which I know is affecting you guys, but dealing with these other pressing issues. All right, this is what I think is interesting, though. Views on tipping, and Americans are by definition generous and fair people. It's one of the things that makes this country great. But 66% now have a negative view of tipping. Businesses should pay employees better than relying on tips, 41%. Annoyed about pre-entered tip screens, 32%. I'd love to meet the 66% who are not annoyed about being asked to tip on self-checkout lines at various locations. I'm just curious, as a guy who runs businesses that rely on tips, where's this headed, and how do you convince people and get them back to, hey, if your server provides great service, they deserve recognition?
Well, what you showed is actually, I think it's annoying too. I don't necessarily know when I'm supposed to tip and when I'm not in a lot of places. And customarily, tipped employees, by the definition of the federal government, only need to make $30 a month in tips. And because of that, what it's actually done is a lot of businesses have taken advantage of that by paying people that aren't really tipped employees a sub-minimum wage. And that's what's starting to create all these problems. You go to, a fast food restaurant now and you think you're supposed to tip. And as a result of maybe these people are making more than $30 per month, these businesses are saying, well, we're not going to pay our employees a full minimum wage. And what that's ultimately doing is creating annoyance, but many businesses have taken advantage of their employees. You see a lot of coffee shops around the country that are unionizing as a result. And we know who we're talking about, but when you start looking at actual restaurants, at least in Chicago, I can't tell you a single restaurant where a server's making less than $20 an hour. And
wow. Interesting.
That's I think the reality of what you're seeing is that, like I said, it's more of a political movement because they just want to be able to have a set wage for everybody, as opposed to, what's happening right now since the pandemic is nobody knows who gets it, who doesn't. And, it's leading to frustration and confusion, which is why I think we're here right now.
Yeah, well, you make a point that the pandemic has changed so much, and now regulation on top of that makes life a little harder. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.